Hello, everybody. It's funny, I always push this camera with this finger, so every beginning and end of the video looks the exact same. Different clothing, sometimes the same clothing, because I make more than one video in a day. But the exact same, like, even where I sit in frame, exact same. I look at all my posts, I'm like, fuck. They're all the exact same. Okay, welcome to Tarot Between Sisters. My name is Lady Phoebe. Today we're gonna go and do another Choose Your Own Adventure. And today, so yesterday we did Choose Your Own Adventure. Should I stay or should I go now? Should I stay or should I go now? Today, we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Sometimes you do go, okay? You go. And then you're sometimes being pulled to go back. So today's is, should I go back? There's some relationships that are important enough that you do absolutely need to go back. But then there's others that are like, nope, there was a season for that and that is over. So today we're going to say, should I go back? And we're going to go yes and no. Same thing as yesterday, but should I go back? Interesting little take, right? And this isn't just like sexual relationships. I mean like relationships. When I say relationships, I mean relationships. You have relationships with everybody in your life right now. Your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your coworker, your whatever. Like you have that's a relationship. Sexual relationship is just that, a relationship with sex. With sex. It's gonna be my new sex word and voice. Sex. Okay. Ooh, these cards are a little bit big. I'm using Pro Tarot today from my very good friend Marina at Heart Center Tarot. She gave it to me for my 40th birthday. Which is so funny, it seems so long ago. Like my birthday is May 29th, I'm a Gemini. It seems so long ago when I turned 40. Crow Tarot. I said this in the other video too, but I'm going to say it in this one just because I found it so cool. I had a dream last night that a crow came and flew on me and landed on me. In my mind, like crows are my original, that was the first spirit animal that revealed itself to me. And then falcons did, and then eagle has been the latest one with my mediumship. That's my mediumship animal. And I gotta tell you, if you don't know your spirit animal, find out. Because animals are here to teach us such wonderful, full messages that we wouldn't learn. Well, we would learn them, whatever, but they teach it in such an honest way. Like my cat Nux, I said this in the other video, but it bears repeating. My cat Nux has taught me one of my most valuable lessons in this lifetime. He has given me my foundation, a big, huge block in the foundation that is me and my practice and my spirituality. My cat taught me that. So don't discount the animals in our lives or the animals that present themselves to you, because they are here to teach us. They're here to learn as well, but they're also here to teach us. Like, spirit works with animals as well, that they are learning lessons. Did you know that? Like, isn't that kind of cool? We always think that they're these beings that are just here for our pets, right? The spirit works with them on their level and with their communication style, because they communicate differently than us. And so spirit works with them so that they can learn lessons and that they can do forgiveness stuff and that they can become enlightened. It makes so much sense to me that, like, I heard that and I was like, of course. Like, of course we're all working, like everything in this world, everything in this dimension is all working together because we are one. So of course animals are. Like, of course they are. Okay, so should I go back? We're gonna do the yes first, okay? Should I go back? Ooh, okay. Should I go back? Okay. Okay, I got 3. This one's first. 4 of Swords. Okay. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have, okay, 5 of Wands. So should I go back? This is the yes. First I get 4 of Swords. And actually it's funny. So in the Rider-Waite deck of cards, like 4 of Swords is like deep rest. Like you need to deeply rest this, okay? Rest yourself, rest everything. And you just need to, like, an epic nap. And it's a dead, like it's a person kind of lying on a not a tombstone, the big boxes that you get buried into. Why can't I think of that name? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. And he kind of looks dead, but he kind of looks stone, right? Like, so it's not whatever. This is literally a dead crow. Which, I don't know why I laughed there, but. So, okay, should I go back? Yes. Right away, 4 of Swords. This road is funny because when you say, yes, I'm going to go back to this person, or I'm going to go back to this relationship or scenario, and the 4 of Swords presents itself as the first decision that you've made is yes, and then the first experience you have is the 4 of Swords, so there's a deep rest in that. So it's either that you can rest now knowing that you're going to go back to this relationship. So it's something that almost like the parting caused you great stress. Like the parting was not an easy parting. It didn't feel finished, right? That there were still bands pulling you in that direction. It wasn't a clean break. It wasn't something that you walked away and you said, okay, that energy is finished. I know that I'm never going back there again. This seemed to be something that was, I can't walk away from this person. Why can't I walk away from this situation? Like, what is it that I can't walk away from? So the first one, it's almost like a relief. Like, oh, I get to sleep finally. I haven't been able to sleep since you haven't been in my life. Like, I haven't been able to sleep since I haven't gone to this situation, or that I haven't had this outlet or this person. And that, so yeah, like I just feel like it's less stressful now that I've got a hair crossing my eye. So there's deep rest now. And I think on both sides too, right? Like they're, oh my goodness. I like that I say like fuck on this channel, and then I, instead of saying oh my God, I say oh my goodness. I don't know if it's gone. So there's like a deep sense of relief on both sides of it. Stop. We live in a condo, so barking is not good. William, stop. No. So yes, both parties are able to relax finally. Like it just, you felt uneasy during that break. And so you deciding to go back, it's like, oh, I can finally relax now. Like this feels very good to go back to that. And then the next one is King of Wands. And King of Wands is a very like creative, passionate, excited energy. So I feel like, okay, so you said yes, you went back to this situation, and it's like, oh, that feels so much better. I can finally, like, my mind, I'm not torturing myself anymore. And then you guys get together and you're like, ah, this is so awesome. I've missed you so much. Okay, yes, we had problems. Yes, we had issues. Let's resolve them. Let's get through them so that we don't need to part again. Like, what did you learn? What did I learn? Let's come together. And there's just this great excitement and creativity that comes out of it. So both you guys became better individually, and then were able to come back together. And then, so then I got 5 of Wands, which is the struggle card. And I feel that you guys now are equipped to deal with things, because struggle happens, right? Like our lives are never like, oh, I made this decision and it was awesome, and then there's never going to be darkness or whatever. No, like it happens. But I feel that together now, there's a ability to work with the struggle properly, and in a more constructive way, and in a more loving way. Like it just seems like that King of Wands being in the middle of the 4 of Swords and the 5 of Wands is the creativity, and that thinking of creative ways that both people can be happy and come to resolution, rather than just having the conflict and then ending it there. You know what I mean? Like they aren't an individual working with ever in the relationship. It's both of them working to a good goal of the relationship together. Yes, okay. So should I go back? The yes. That was pretty, okay, you go. Pretty positive. Pretty good. So far I haven't like, I'm waiting to get like the Death card and then the Devil card together with the 3 of Swords on one of these things. That's like, okay, that's a clear no. That is a clear no, don't do that. So now should I go back? No. This is the decision, no. So this is what will happen. Well, not what will happen, but what you will experience if you say no to that relationship. Okay. 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 The Emperor, man, he has shown up in so many readings. I can't even believe how many times the Emperor comes. He's upside down again, which he always shows up upside down too. First card, King of Cups, right side up. So you've chosen, no, I'm not going to go back to him. And so your energy, oh, this is strange. So your energy initially is like, that was the right decision not to go back to that situation. I feel that I'm taking care of myself. Like I feel like I'm being honest with myself in that. Like King of Cups is a very solid card. Like he's the master of the emotional state, right? And he's like the protective, like protective, loving state. He's a very accomplished emotional man. So you not going back and you're experiencing this very accomplished emotional self. And then the next card is the Queen of Swords upside down. She can be a bitch. She can be a bitch. Like, out of all the queens upside down, she's the worst one. She's scary. Like, she is such a smart queen, and she's so well-spoken, and she is so clever, and she is so funny and in her head, and she can talk circles around people. That's in her best suit. When she's turned around, she's manipulative. She is straight up cutting, like cutting with her words, and she doesn't give a shit who she hurts. Like, and it's mostly verbal, right? Like the swords is the air, which is mind thing. She's just not very nice. Like, to say any queen upside down is a bitch, she's it, baby. Like, she's it. And cold. Like, I just got this feeling of like steel on my body. Like, very cold and callous and just... So that's a weird... Do you see what I mean? That's very weird to get the King of Cups, which is this very mature, loving, emotional energy, and then to move into the Queen of Swords. And then the Emperor upside down. Oh, okay. It's coming together now. So this one is that you've chosen to go back to this person, right? And again, I'm not saying we've been through this. You've chosen to go back to the situation. And so you've chosen to have this other person kind of help you work through some stuff and be a loving mirror. In this one, it's more of a lonelier one, which, yes, you can be absolutely emotionally mature, but sometimes you can be angry. And so this one, I think, is the anger's coming out a little bit more. The anger's coming out a little bit more because you're doing it alone. And not to say you don't have other people in your life, but it's almost like you're like, no, I'm going to go this alone. I'm going to do it alone. And so some anger comes up in that because there's feelings of loneliness, which again, isn't a bad thing. It's a trigger. If you look at anything as healing, then everything is good. And then the Emperor upside down is, again, he's that structure to me. He's a very powerful structure force that helps rein in things. And he's upside down though. So that structure force of helping you rein in your anger and helping you deal with the anger rather than projecting it out isn't in full effect here. So I feel like things are a little bit more scattered and there's a little bit less recognition of exactly how angry you really are in a situation. Now, again, I've had this before, literally. I blamed people for being angry around me, right? And I'm like, well, I'm not an angry person. I am not angry. That's not how I express myself. I'm not an angry person. I don't have a lot of anger. And then one day Spirit's like, Phoebe, psst, hey girl, if you weren't angry yourself, you wouldn't notice other people's anger. First of all, rude, sir. Rude, sir. Second of all, you have yourself a fucking point. Because if I'm fully in love, if I'm fully in spirit, all that I see is people in spirit and in love. If I'm seeing other people's anger, if I'm noticing, if I'm being affected by other people's anger, that means that I'm looking out of my own anger. So as soon as I had that, I was actually at the sink. I remember the exact moment I was doing some dishes And I was like, now while I'm doing dishes, really? I already hate dishes and then you go and drop that on me? All right. And then I looked at my anger and I was like, Phoebe, you are angry. You're fucking angry. You're angry at your childhood. You're angry at your parents not doing what you think they should have. You're angry. Now that you've come to terms with the fact that you are angry, now we can forgive the anger. Now we can change our mind about the anger, but I can't do that until I notice it. So she is coming up, and actually, now that I've gone through that whole story, I'm like, she's coming up actually in a very healing intention if we look at it as such. So both sides, it's funny, it all means healing in the end, all of it. All of it. So no matter what side you choose, you're going to heal. It just depends on how you want to get there. Do you want to do it with somebody else, or would you like to do it alone? Either way is fine. Either way is good. You get to the same end in the end. You get there the same in the end. It's just the road that you choose to take. It's funny, as soon as the message is done, it's literally done. Like as soon as I said that last word, I just felt it shut down. We're done. That's what needed to be said. We're good to go. I'm very like, today. Cool. Who's feeling some energy in the air? Like, who's feeling it? I'm excited about my lessons to be learned. Like, I'm excited. Trigger me, baby. Trigger me. Let's get this shit out on the table. Let's deal with it. Let's get that anger. Let's recognize the anger. Let's recognize the hurt. Let's recognize it all so that I can change my mind about it and choose love. Choose forgiveness. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. I don't want to blame anybody for anything. This is something I have chosen to do. How can I choose differently? Let's do this. Like, I just feel this like surge of energy and I'm so excited. And I think I'm excited because I pushed through a lot of big blocks this week and I can feel the lightness that I have from it. And so I want to share that with you guys. I want to share that lightness and that. Oh, that's so funny. I didn't hear anything. And then all of a sudden it's someone like trailing, but okay, this is funny. I have not heard anything outside this whole time. And there's been people walking and whatever. All of a sudden I hear someone and someone's walking on the sidewalk, down the sidewalk with something. But to me, it sounds like water and like a creek has come in, and because I have allowed it, I've chosen to come in and taken everything that was burdening me down. Didn't we start this by floating, or was that the other one? Well, that was the other reading. Okay, but still, it's taken all these burdens out of me that I have allowed to, because I've changed my mind about it, that was making me sink. And now I'm floating, and I'm just floating like this in the river. And I'm looking at all the animals congratulating me. And I'm looking at how the earth's energy is holding me up. And I'm looking and enjoying and just being in the moment, being one with everything. It's time to go. The exact minute that the message was done was 18:18. Ooh. Okay. Choose love, then choose love again. And you know what? Then choose it again. Why not, right? And be compassionate to yourselves and be compassionate to others. I love you. Mwah! Bye.